which the birth date of a child is not when the child is physically born, not even the day of its conception, but rather the birth date comes the first time the child is a thought in its mother's mind. So the first time that she is aware of her intention to conceive a child with a specific father. At that point, when she has that thought, she goes and she sits under a tree and she listens for a song that's unique to that child. And once she's heard it, she comes back to the village and she teaches it first to the women and the midwives, right? And then they can sing it throughout, first to the father, and then the midwives and the women in the village. And so they can sing it during conception, during the labor process, during the whole pregnancy, and then during birth, when this child first comes to the world. And after birth, all of the villagers learn the song also. So they can sing it to the child when he or she falls, when he or she does something great, triumphs, rituals. This song becomes a really important part of the child's life. So even at the end of life, they gather around the person's deathbed and they sing the song one last time. Isn't that beautiful? And so I wonder if Jacob's mother, her name was Rebecca, if she had lived as part of that tribe, what would Jacob's song have been? Let me tell you Jacob's story. Once upon a time, there was a man named Isaac. That's Jacob's dad. And he was 40 years old when he married Rebecca, Jacob's mom. I wonder what their wedding was like. Would you wonder with me? Kind of put yourself in the story. What was their wedding like? Did they know each other for a long time? Why did they wait so long to get married? Also, right? 40 is really old for a wedding in the Bible. It says that Isaac prayed for his wife because she wasn't able to conceive. For those of you who have gone through that, that's really difficult. I wonder, how long did they try? Were there doctors to help? Or whatever the equivalent was? Did they fight about it? Because that would have been really natural. And Isaac prayed, but I wonder, did Rebecca pray too? Or had she had it already? Was she done with her praying and now it was just Isaac's job to pray? The story says that God was moved by Isaac's prayer, and so Rebecca conceived. Right? Joy. You can imagine the whole village joyful. Baby toys and little baby dresses. And I wonder if they wanted a boy or a girl. Did they talk about it? I don't know. I wonder what her baby shower was like. Their story also says that there was fighting and strife. There was discontent and agitation, distress, and even chaos in her womb. It says that she wondered, why has this happened to me? Why would God answer a prayer like this? Because it doesn't seem like a blessing anymore. I wonder what everyone else thought about her stressful pregnancy. I wonder, did the women worry? Were the midwives on speed dial, or whatever that was? If they were, did they tell Rebecca, or did they not want her to worry about it? So no one told her that they were worried about the pregnancy. It says her time came, and she gave birth to a red, hairy little boy. Esau, she says, my little Esau. Smiling, a sweat pours down her cheeks, and the midwives catch the boy with a rag, but the pain begins again. Another child? I wonder, did they know that that was going to happen? I wonder if they were afraid. I wonder, did the women come running from every possible room? Because there was no sterilized operating room waiting in the wings. There was no neonatal unit in the corner watching. Women and friends and cousins and mothers and aunts all watching as the struggle unfolds. The second child, it says, was holding on to the first, the younger grasping at the older, journeying together. Pain filled the room, surprise and confusion, and then life appeared. Two lives, beholden to one another, brothers, twins, Esau and Jacob. Jacob means grasper. Jacob and his mother together would grasp for his future. They plotted to steal his older brother's blessing and birthright from their father Isaac. And the plan worked. Jacob convinced his brother to sell his birthright for a bowl of soup, and that story is for another day. But when Esau realized what he had done, he threatened Jacob's life, and Jacob ran away. It was there in that runaway place that he met Rachel, not to be confused with Rebecca. Rebecca's the mom, Rachel's the to-be wife. Love at first sight, it was. Jacob began to grasp again, grasp for his future, plotting another plan. He struck a deal with Rachel's father, whose name was Laban. 7 years of labor, he says, for Rachel's hand in marriage. But when the time came, Laban outsmarted Jacob, the grasper, knocking Jacob's future off course, and replaced his eldest daughter, Leah, for Rachel on their wedding night. No joke, he must have been pretty drunk, right? And Jacob was left married to the wrong sister. He grasps again. 7 more years of labor for the one he wanted. And so the story seems to be coming to a happy ending. Except that Leah, the first wife, kept having children, and Rachel wasn't able to conceive. And so Rachel gave Jacob her handmaiden named Bilhah, and she conceived. And then Leah stopped having children, and so she too gave Jacob her handmaiden Zilpah, and she conceived. And there was Jacob and his happy family, the family that he worked so hard for, the family he conceived and planned and plotted and grasped for. Jacob and his beloved Rachel, and Leah, and Bilhah, and Zilpah. One big, happy, biblical family. The family that knows how to plot and grasp together. So God told Jacob to go back to his homeland. And so again, he began to plan and grasp, and he created a business plan that would take the very best of Laban's flock. And when Laban's sons found out, they were angry, understandably, because they were outsmarted by this foreigner, their brother-in-law. And to make a long story just a little bit shorter, Jacob runs away. This time with his wives and his children. But before they could go, Rachel, his beloved, steals the family gods. And she hides them. And they run away. And 7 days later, Laban catches up with them because he's mad that they've run away. Laban says, "Why did you run away? Why would you run away like this?" Perhaps one answer could be, that's what I do. I run away. With all my plotting and planning and grasping for my future, the truth is I run away.